Habari Gani family. I greet you on this beautiful fourth day of Kwanzaa. Our principle for today is Ujamaa, which means cooperative economics. Before we delve into the power of Ujamaa, let's remember the journey that brought us here. On day one, Umoja, unity, we lit the black candle and affirmed our commitment to building strong, communicative families and communities. On day two, Kujikajalia, self-determination, we lit the first red candle and declared our power to define our own financial and cultural futures. And just yesterday, on day three, Ujamaa, collective work and responsibility, we lit the first green candle, promising to lift as we climb and to solve our problems together. These three principles form a powerful foundation from unity through self-determination into collective work. And now we arrive at the natural result, Ujamaa, building and maintaining our own stores, shops, and businesses and profiting from them together. Ujamaa affirms our commitment to shared responsibility, collective strength, and building an economy that serves people together. So let's continue our ritual and bring the light of Ujamaa into our space. Ujamaa is an ethical economic vision rooted in Afrocentric values of reciprocity and shared benefit. As the source article beautifully notes, it has deep roots in African society where mutual aid was essential. Neighbors would come together to help with planting or harvesting, knowing that what you give today will return to you tomorrow. In our modern context, Ujamaa challenged us to think beyond individual gain. It's about asking, how do my financial choices uplift my community? This isn't just about business ownership. It's about everyday economy of our homes and neighborhoods. Ujamaa is a call to share, pool, and circulate resources within the community for the collective good. Ujamaa reminds us that economic strength is the most powerful when it is rooted in cooperation rather than competition, and when families and communities work together to support one another's stability and growth. The Pax Christi USA Reflection offers wonderful guidance for practicing Ujamaa in the family. They model ethical consumption by intentionally supporting Black-owned and community-based businesses, involving children in age-appropriate conversations about money, teaching them it's a tool, not a measure of worth. Practice saving and collective planning together, and recognizing that true wealth includes time, energy, and creativity we give to one another. And at the community level, Ujamaa is about building resilience. This can look like forming mutual aid networks, creating cooperative enterprises, or starting a community land trust. These practices build local control and reduce dependency on exploitative system. The tradition of cooperative economics has deep roots in African societies where mutual aid was essential to survival and success. In these communities, every individual was valued for their contribution, and economic life was shaped by an understanding of human interdependence. Agricultural systems reflected this philosophy. While families often worked their own land, there were moments in the planting and harvesting cycle when the work exceeded what one household could manage alone. When that happened, neighbors answered the call, bringing tools, labor, and time to ensure the task was completed. The understanding was simple and powerful. What you give today will return to you tomorrow. It's the law of reciprocity. This system of shared responsibility fostered trust, solidarity, and long term sustainability. It ensured that no family stood alone in moments of need and that collective success outweighed individual hardship. In today's world, marked by economic uncertainty and widening gaps in access and opportunity, the principle of Ujamaa remains both relevant and necessary. By embracing cooperative practices, families and communities can create pathways to shared prosperity, whether through supporting Black owned businesses, sharing resources, building cooperative ventures, or committing to economic education and planning together. And let's talk about our master builders of the future. Come on, young kings and queens. Today's principle, Ujamaa, is like a team game where everyone wins. Think of our community like a circle. When we practice Ujamaa, we keep our resources, our time, our support, our dollars moving within that circle. Did you ask your parents to buy snacks from the Black owned corner store instead of the big chain? That's Ujamaa. Have you and your friends ever pooled your allowance to buy one big cool toy to share? That's Ujamaa. Does your family save coins in a jar for a special trip? That's practicing Ujamaa together. My mother called it mad money. Ujamaa teaches us that we are stronger together. Your small choice helps a local family keep their dream alive. That's powerful. And tonight, with your family, talk about one small way you can be a community builder this week. It's all about building community. And to honor Ujamaa on this day of Kwanzaa, families and communities are encouraged to gather together, whether through a shared meal or intentional time for reflection. I had a meal with a friend of mine of 25 years reflecting on, hey, I met you 25 years ago this month. It was a beautiful evening. Cultural connection can be deepened through reading proverbs, poems, or family stories that highlight resilience and cooperation. Attention may be given to the Kwanzaa symbol of mazo crops, which represent the fruits of collective labor and shared effort. I remember the time the people in the community would come and knock on our door and ask to speak to my dad, and they would just give him money. And I'm like, why are you just giving me money to give to my dad? Oh, well, he said that I could get some food out of the garden. It was a community garden, and people would go and pick their fruits and vegetables, and they would end up paying him for them. And he would say, yeah, it's okay for you to go and pick as many greens as you like. And they just gave him a donation. It was all about community. And as I think on over my life, my dad was practicing Ujamaa. Above all, Ujamaa is meant to be lived, whether through planning a cooperative project, supporting one another financially or emotionally, or making intentional economic choices as a family or community today is about action rooted in unity. Having that garden, that community garden, now I see community gardens popping up all over urban America. It's needed. And as we come together to pitch in and learn about harvesting, planting, and harvesting, we'll never be hungry and we'll never go broke because we're doing it together in unity. This is also a moment for reflection and commitment. Consider how cooperative economics has shown up in your life over the past year and discuss concrete ways to strengthen those practices moving forward. Lighting the candle for Ujamaa offers space to discuss its meaning while honoring ancestors who lived these values reminds us that we are continuing a legacy and not starting from scratch. It reminds me of the time my dad told me about my grandmother and how she was an entrepreneur. And I was like, Grandma was an entrepreneur? He says, yes. She would sell the eggs from the chicken coop to the people in the community. I was like, yeah, Grandma was an entrepreneur. And then he says, all those chickens that ended up disappearing? As a young girl, we would feed the little chicks. They would grow up and be grown young hens and young chickens and chasing the banty roosters around the yard. And one time they disappeared. That's because my grandmother was selling chickens out of the yard. And I'll never forget the hen duck and the mallard duck. And they would just be hand in hand, arm in arm, all day walking around. And I said, well, what happened to the duck with the green neck? Oh, he left. He ran away. He didn't come back. She would tell us, but we may have had duck for dinner. So when I think about and reflect on my time as a young child and how my family practiced cooperative economics and Ujamaa, it just brings a smile to my face in how we help the community. So let us now continue our ritual that today we light the second red candle. It is placed directly to the left of the black candle in the symbolism of Kwanzaa. Red represents the righteous struggle, and its central placement today is very instructive. It reminds us that the struggle for economic justice and self-sufficiency has been a core part of our journey. Ujamaa directly addresses this by reframing economics from competition to cooperation. And as we light this candle of Ujamaa, we affirm we are committed to building shared prosperity. We choose to circulate our resources within our community. We will support one another's dreams and labor, understanding that our collective well-being is the truest measure of success. We are committed to building shared prosperity. We choose to circulate our resources within our community. We will support one another's dreams and labor, understanding that our collective well-being is the truest measure of success. Thank you so much for joining us on day 4 of Kwanzaa Ujamaa. And we thank you so much for joining us. And I want to ask you the question, like, how do we practice Ujamaa? How do we practice Ujamaa? And how do we put Ujamaa into action, like right now? Like, here's our call to action: to make an Ujamaa pledge. I'd like for us to identify one Black-owned business or service you will support this coming month. Type it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Put it on your calendar. I know there's several restaurants that are Black-owned, and just this past year, when I celebrated my birthday, I got all my friends together and we went to a Black-owned establishment. And the food was great, amazing. I had sweet potato biscuits. They were just divine. They were wonderful. Secondly, think about starting a family shared goal jar. Decide on a small collective family goal, a game, a book, donating to a cause, and start saving coins together. Have a friend of mine that has a big water jug, an empty one, and each day change goes into this jug, and it's massive. So decide on a goal for savings. Share knowledge. This is so important. Share knowledge. If you have a skill like baking, fixing things, budgeting, crocheting, offer to share it with a young person in your family or community. I have a great referral to learn crochet. In today's world marked by economic uncertainty and widening gaps in access opportunity, the principle of Ujamaa remains both relevant and necessary. By embracing cooperative practices, families and communities can create pathways to shared prosperity, whether through supporting Black-owned businesses, sharing resources, building cooperative adventures, or committing to economic education and planning together. I tell you, I share knowledge. People can come to my home and they see multiple books and they're like, oh, can I have this one? Can I read this one? And I was like, sure. So I have my own knowledge sharing network of books that I have in my library, and it's wonderful. We'll have to come back later and talk about all of the educational books that is available. Because the tradition of cooperative economics having deep roots in African societies, it's just really, truly amazing that, we can come together and share. And now let's seal our commitment with affirmations. And repeat after me. My economic choices build up my community. My economic choices build up my community. I recognize that wealth is more than what I have. It is what I share. I recognize that wealth is more than what I have. It is what I share. I am a conscious creator of shared prosperity. I am a conscious creator of shared prosperity. My spending is a vote for the world I want to see. My spending is a vote for the world I want to see. And as we close out Kwanzaa, being an African American holiday celebrating family, community, and culture, Although it was not designed to be a religious holiday, the 7 principles possess a spiritual quality that is evident in Holy Scripture and resonates with our principles of the Catholic social teaching inspired by Pope Leo the 13th in Rerum Novarum. The binding thread is acknowledging that we thrive in community and common care for one another. And as I always shared this past week, Kwanzaa began in 1966, just 59 years ago. 59 years ago. And it was created by Karenga Moringa, just in 1966. So we give thanks and we give homage to the creator of Kwanzaa. And you can go to the official website of Kwanzaa to learn more and to receive a message from the creator of Kwanzaa. So I invite you to visit the official Kwanzaa website. As we embark on the ending of day 4, Ujamaa, Cooperative Economics, building and circulating wealth within the community, having a Ujamaa mindset, moving from consumer to owner. And as we reflect on Ujamaa, the power of the collective, we want to build, profiting from, and maintain our own businesses. The economic multiplier effect of spending within the community, moving from being a consumer in someone else's economy to an owner in your own. I invite you to support Black-owned businesses. Invest in Black-owned stocks, funds, startups. Start or partner in a community-serving business. Use an app like Official Black Wall Street or We Buy Black to find and patronize 3 Black-owned businesses for your next purchases. You may want to research the success of Black Wall Street, the Greenwood District in Tulsa, as an ultimate example of Ujamaa. Tonight, let the candles light remind you, our spending is a vote for the world we want to build. So look at our Kinara now. The light has grown stronger. 4 candles burn, representing the unbreakable chain from unity to self-determination to collective work and now to cooperative economics. Ujamaa reminds us, as the proverb says, that wealth is not what you have, but what you share. Our shared prosperity is sacred work. And tomorrow on day 5, we will light the final green candle for Nia, purpose. We will explore how to align our collective economic strength with a deeper, meaningful purpose for our community. Until then, let's go out and build together. Let your economic choices reflect your values. Harambe! Thank you so much for joining us for day 4 of the Kwanzaa celebration. Please like, follow, and share on any social media account. And we look forward for you to join us on day 5 as we celebrate Kwanzaa with Nia, purpose. Have a great evening, everyone.